الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين، وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات. ربنا لك الحمد حتى ترضى، ولك الحمد إذا رضيت، ولك الحمد بعد الرضا. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيد الأولين والآخرين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الملك الحق المبين، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله وأمين على وحيه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, all praise and glory and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everything we have. وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. And we are dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all our needs. يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ أَنْتُمُ الْفُقَرَاءُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ هُوَ الْغَنِيُّ الْحَمِيدُ. So the best reminders that we need to remind ourselves and one another all the time is, one, to be grateful, to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in words and in deeds. In words, sincere words, thanking Allah, expressing your appreciation and gratitude. And then in deeds, by using what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, fi sabilillah. Whatever Allah has given you of health, of money, of time, of anything, you use, maximize, maximum of it fi sabilillah. And all the benefit is yours. Whatever you invest with Allah or you save with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the benefits is yours. Remember, لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. Whatever you do, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will multiply whatever you save and invest with Him. And the second thing is to be also to do our best in making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and expressing our needs to Him. Always try to show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how desperate you are for His needs. And that will give you power. That إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله. When you humiliate, you humble yourself and show your desperate need for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you become free of all needs from the rest of the people, because you know that nobody can benefit you of something that Allah did not prescribe for you, and nobody can harm you with something that Allah did not prescribe on you. Inshallah, today we're going to start with one hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that basically says a lot about our mission, our job in life, the job that Allah has created us to fulfill. Yes, we are here on earth in this life to fulfill and perform specific job. It's a big one, it's a noble one. It's a very noble to be working for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and living for Allah. But it's also big, and you'd better understand it and fulfill it to the best of your ability so that you'll be prepared to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, we keep saying this all the time, that when you pursue Ridwan Allah, when you pursue the good pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are actually pursuing your own happiness and success in this life and in the hereafter. Everything springs out of Ridwan Allah. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you, then you will achieve what everybody is looking for on earth, that level of that happiness and that success both in this life and in the hereafter. And we explained last time why. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you and loves the best for you. So when you are seeking, when you're doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned you and expects from you, that's in your best interest both in this life and in the hereafter. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث: صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به أو ولد صالح يدعو له. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when a person dies, his deeds are discontinued. Your book of records, it's going to be closed, discontinued. There is nothing more you can do. With three exceptions. Sadaqah, charity, whose benefit is continuous. The person has passed away, but he donated money that is still benefiting people. Whether it is helping in building a mosque, whether it is helping in digging a well in areas where they need water, whatever. Sadaqah jariyah. Something that its benefit, it's continuous. Or knowledge from which benefit continues to be repeated. This person has left knowledge that is still benefiting people. So money, donation, sadaqah jariyah, that is still benefiting people after the person dies. Or knowledge that is still benefiting people after the person has died. Or a righteous child who supplicates for him, who is making dua. وَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدْعُ لَهُ. It's an amazing hadith. If we really understand it, not the literal meaning, but also the implication. Basically, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that's what you are supposed to be doing while you are living, so that this will continue after you die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His messengers, wants you to be still someone who makes a difference in the lives of people, even after you pass away. Imagine, even after the person dies, this deen wants you to be still someone who's making difference in the lives of people because of the money that you donated while you are living, or the knowledge that you have left behind, or this righteous child that is making dua for you. It's an amazing hadith, especially if you combine with other hadith that will tell you what is it that you are supposed to do in this life and what our deen is all about. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says also, إذا قامت الساعة وفي يد أحدكم فسيلة فإن استطاع أن لا تقوم حتى يغرسها فليغرسها. If the final hour, day of judgment, comes while you have a seedling, something that you can plant, shoot of a plant in your hands, and it is possible to plant it before the hour comes, you should plant it. It's an amazing how this deen encourages us to do good, and even in extreme conditions. You see the sign of the day of judgment. You wake up in the morning, you see the sun coming from the west. You know it's over. But in your hands, there is something good that you still can do. The Prophet is telling us that if you can do it, then you should not hesitate to eliminate any excuse for not doing what is good. The sign, if you think about it logically, what good this is going to do? But Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam does not want you to think that way. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants you when there is an opportunity to do good, you should do it without hesitation, without reluctance, without even postponing. If that is not a valid excuse for not doing good, do you think that there is any other valid excuse for not doing a good that you can do now? So the sign of the hour, day of judgment, and you still can beat it with a few seconds, then do it. If you can do it, then do it. Also, another excuse that we can come up with for not doing good is that sometimes we say, again, we can say either what difference this is going to make. I'm going to plant something, but the day of judgment is here. Or also sometimes we can say this is very little. This is not going to make a big difference, so why should I do it? And the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to seal also that excuse and to eliminate and rule out that excuse by saying, لا يحقرن أحدكم من المعروف شيئا ولو أن تلقى أخاك بوجه طليق. Never belittle or underestimate any good deed that you can do, even if you meet your brother with a smiling face. The minimum. Even because the lowest level of doing good is not to do harm. Muslimu man salima al-muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi. At least you don't hurt people with your tongue or anything. The minimum. So, لا يحقرن أحدكم من المعروف شيئا. Never belittle anything good that you can do. Never postpone it. Remember that Rasul also says that majority of people who end up in hellfire, it's because of procrastination, basically postponing what you can do now. أكثر سياح أهل النار من التسويف. A lot of people, they have good intention and they want to do good, but they don't act soon enough. I will do it tomorrow, inshallah after I graduate, inshallah after I get married, inshallah after I do this, inshallah after I purchase my house, inshallah after. And then they get caught unprepared. Never allow that to happen, because remember that what you can do now, only Allah knows whether you can do it tomorrow or even later today. Because now you're living, you never know when it's over. Now you're healthy, you never know when you will become ill. Now you have time, you never know when you become busy. So always take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to close this beautiful package of hadith, says, أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل. أحب الأعمال إلى الله. So Allah loves consistent deeds, something that you do over and over again. So that if you do something good, you will be motivated to keep doing it, because that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل. Even if it is little, but you're doing it consistently. You keep doing it. That's not, that's not easy, but that's again most beloved. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves when you do something to perfect it. It's an amazing package of hadith. You do something, إن الله يحب إذا عمل أحدكم عملا أن يتقنه. You do, first of all, ruling out all excuses. Any excuse is not valid. And then doing things consistently. And then perfecting what you do. And then not only preparing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, preparing that bag that you're going to take with you, wow, after you leave this life. الزاد تزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى. Prepare to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Invest and save with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that's the only thing that will count the moment you leave this life. But also, the first hadith is telling you to leave a legacy behind you, so that you can continue to benefit people and fulfill your mission even after you pass away. It's an amazing hadith, again, that says a lot about our deen. So this deen, if you look at all these hadith, it's about helping people, it's about serving the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, helping people becoming better people through knowledge, and helping people through sadaqah jariyah, through charity, and helping making this world a better place. That's what our deen is all about. The essence of our deen, if you want to summarize it in 30 seconds, this deen wants you to be all you can be and wants you to maximize your contribution to the greater good. Islam is about tazkiyah, which means that you develop yourself to be a role model and to be all you can be, to leverage and realize all the potential that Allah has given you, and to maximize your positive impact on people and your contribution to making this world a better place. To the point that you do things that will continue to serve the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even after you pass away. It's an amazing how people who died and they are still beneficial, they are still making contribution and having an impact. And on the other hand, you have people who are living and they have little or no impact, no contribution, doing very minimal. So the question that we should be asking ourselves all the time, what is it that I'm doing to advance? What is it that I'm doing fi sabilillah? What is it that I'm doing? And fi sabilillah, most of the time, is basically what is it that you're doing to become a better person, and what is it that you're contributing to the humanity and to make this world a better place. Ask and challenge yourself all the time. When you wake up in the morning, try to think of things that you can do to be a better person and to contribute to making this world a better place. And when you go to sleep at night, hold yourself accountable. Check what you have done. This is a whole day that has gone past. What did you do today? In what way you improved? And تحاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. Try to do that self-assessment so that you can detect any deviation while it is small. Because remember that shaitan is tricky and it's much smarter than to come to you and say, how about stop praying? Doesn't do that. Shaitan works on a very small deviation, very incremental. But those small deviations can add up and you find yourself totally lost. So make sure you do that self-assessment so that you can detect any problem before it's too late and while it is small. So to be a Muslim, that's an essential question that we keep asking and trying to discuss and address, is to dedicate your life to Allah and to His cause. To dedicate your life to Allah and to His cause. Being a Muslim, that's what the companions have understood. Being a Muslim meaning someone who will switch from living for yourself to living for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His cause. That's the meaning of being abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, servant. That people before Islam, they used to live for themselves, they do what they like, they are not committed to anything, and then when they become a Muslim, they dedicate themselves to Allah and to His cause. And what does it mean? It means that, again, you need to make an effort to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to get to know His purpose and fulfill it to the best of your ability. Ma'rifatullah wa ma'rifat muradullah. Ma'rifatullah, to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to get to know muradullah. Never take things for granted. Never allow shaitan to make you think that you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough that you don't need to educate yourself more. Most of us, our knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very limited. And the reason, because we're not making the effort, and it's never too late to change that. I know habits are not easy to change. If you're not in the business of reading, it's not going to be easy to change that. But if you have the will and the commitment, then you should be able to do it. So try to start that journey of learning and educating yourself about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and about the expectations and the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that's the only way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with you. The only way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with you when you do your best, you strive to understand and fulfill His purpose. And that's the essence of our deen. And remember, when you do that, you are actually serving yourself. Allah is free of all needs. All the benefits are yours. And it's not mystery. Do your best to be a better person every day. Make sure that you are on a path of continuous improvement. Try to learn something new, incorporate it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises those who, when they get to know something, they immediately implement it. الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Get into this habit of always learning something new that is beneficial and immediately incorporate it. That's how. And learning, you study the Quran, but also you study about this world and about life in general. Study about your health, you study about parenting, you learn, you read about spousal relationship, to make you a better spouse, better parent, better person. It's a self-development. It's an amazing Islamic concept that is implemented, unfortunately, nowadays in many non-Muslim societies, but not in Muslim communities and Muslim societies. It's a self-development. The definition of tazkiyah is إبلاغ الشيء كماله. The definition of tazkiyah is to realize all your potential. That's the self-development. It's a very essential Islamic concept that unfortunately was largely lost. So always get yourself into this habit, and alhamdulillah nowadays knowledge is so available. Wherever you are, with your phone, you can get knowledge. You can learn something new. And if you get into the business of learning and incorporating, that's what will make you a better person every day. You learn something about health, about diet, about exercise, about any skills, about any of your roles, and you try to incorporate it. Make sure that you are not arrogant to acknowledge that, yes, I didn't know that, but now I came to know it, you incorporate it, and that's how it makes you a better person. And try to maximize your contribution to the greater good, to the point that it will continue to benefit people even after you leave this life. So the first hadith that we started with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be beneficial to people even after you leave this life. Of course, He wants you to be even more beneficial while you are living, because there is a lot more you can do. I mean, these three things that you can leave behind. But while you are living, there is a lot more you can do. You have a lot more opportunities. But when the hadith, when the Rasul ﷺ tells you that Allah loves, that you want, that you are beneficial to others and to humanity even after you die, then that's the implication that Allah wants you even to be more beneficial to others and to humanity while you are living. وَتُوبُ اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونتوب إليه. نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. My dear respected brother and sister in Islam, when we say that you need to learn to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more and more, and then the more you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you love Him, and then you want to reach the level where أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. That's when you're going to enjoy and taste the beauty of this deen, when Allah and His Messenger becomes more beloved to you than anything else. And make sure you realize that's not easy. Because even Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu found it challenging that to love Allah and His Messenger more than himself. So it took some effort from him. And he asked the Rasul ﷺ that he's still working on it, and then he said, now I'm fine, I made it. So if Umar ibn Khattab has to work on this, imagine that how much effort we need to do. So never take this for granted. You want to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more you know Him, the more you love Him, until you reach that level when Allah and His Messenger are more beloved to you than anything else. You want to be studying the Quran. Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of print copies of the Quran. We have a lot of electronic copies of the Quran. But what is missing is human copies. Human copies, walking Qurans. And that's what requires that you study and you incorporate. You study the Quran and you embody until you become a walking Quran. Every day there is part of you will be fixed, part of you will be improved, part of you will be reinforced and solidified until you become the role model, and then you become an embodiment of the Quran. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا توفنا وانت راض عنا واختم بالصالحات أعمالنا واجعل خير أعمالنا خواتمها وخير أيامنا يوم نلقاك. ومتعنا اللهم بالنظر إلى وجهك الكريم. ربنا ارحم والدينا كما ربونا صغارا وارحم موتانا وجميع موتى المسلمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأقم الصلاة.